French onion soup sausage. I'm going to show you how to make it from start to finish. So we're tying a bit of the start, but that is not the start of the video. That's just a hook to keep you watching for longer than 3 seconds. Right now, we're cutting up the pork fat. So this is pork back fat. Not the best ingredient for a chicken sausage, but you need fat. And thighs and breasts, just don't cut the mustard. You can use chicken skin, but I think chicken skin contains too much water. And, you get some feathers stuck in there sometimes, and I don't know. It's not a reliable item to buy in bulk, chicken skin. It's more of a pet food item. So, we substitute with pork fat. What are you going to do? We're running this one through the coarse plate. I like the coarse plate. Most sausages get done. Actually, most butchers generally throw their sausages back in 2, 3, 4 times and create a really pasty sausage. I don't know why. I don't think anybody wants to buy paste. I think the supermarkets provide enough pasty sausages for everybody, so maybe us butchers should go back to doing, chunkier handmade sausages, 10 mil or a 5 mil plate one time, not throwing in the mixer mincer again and just mixed and mixed and mixed until it comes out toothpaste. But yeah, what the fuck do I know? I've only been doing it for 20 odd years. Anyway, so French onion soup sausage. We needed crunch. I didn't know how to really get that crunch, so we chucked in some fried shallots. This is our French onion soup powder. That was a heap of those little powder sachets opened up, and chucked in a bag. We got brandy. A lot of the recipes I looked up said a splash of plonk, and brandy seemed to be the plonk of choice. So down it went. Tried it. Don't really like brandy. It's like if muscat and whiskey had a baby, and it's just not for me. That whiskey sort of burn. It's fucking ain't good. Caramelized onion. That's our last missing ingredient. So that's the mix. Now what we're doing is we're just going to mix it up and just bind it all, make it all nice and even. That's the trick. What I like to do, what I'm doing there, is I start a batch and I always don't tip as much water in as I might need. You know what I mean? So, generally a 10-kilo batch of sausages will require somewhere between 1 to 2.5 liters of water, depending on, how fatty the meat is and what breed of meat, breed of animal it is, I suppose. What type of protein it is, probably a better way of saying it. So the chicken usually doesn't allow for much water, but I suppose just all the crap in the French onion soup mix really just let it soak it up, so we got a lot more water in there. Caramelized onion, the fried shallot shouldn't have done anything, so it must have just been the powder. Anyway, that is now flowing better. You can see how much that's moving as opposed to how it was before. It wasn't very, it was more of a mince than a sausage. Oh, we forgot something. Cheese. Good cut. You got to have cheese. That was for a lot of those recipes as well I was looking at, had the cheese on toast to dip in the soup. And I'm like, oh yeah, fuck yeah. Well, I love cheese in a sausage, so let's chuck a 2-kilo bag in there and off we go. So this was about probably starting, I'd say it was 10 kilos of chicken, 2 kilos of fat, giving us a, I don't know, somewhat 80-20 ratio. Not really, but, whatever. I'm doing the maths right now. And then yeah, probably about a kilo of other stuff and a couple kilos of cheese. So we ended up with near on a 20-kilo batch of this sucker. So we're loading it in. We're using a hydraulic sausage filler today. Looking at a vacuum one for what the big boys have, but I don't know. I don't like the waste and I don't like learning new things. So at the moment, we're sticking to this old girl, which seems to pump out, 3.5 to 4.5 ton a week on its own. So go figure. We let it go. Right, just putting the seal on the lid here, and we are done with that. Getting our skins ready. We're using a natural hog skin, seeing as we're already using a bit of pork in our chicken sausage. We may as well paste it in pork as well. So these are 32, 34 on the tube. I prefer on the tube because I find they're just cleaner skins. They're more of an A-grade skin, and you don't get any daggy bits. You don't get, well, obviously shit left in the intestines. You don't get that at all, which is lovely. And there's no knots and there's no holes. So you can pretty much buy them on the tube. I like to pull them off and, nice. And then, run the water through them. Running the water through, I think, just helps open it up and just, it relieves any bits that are sticking together, per se. So when it comes running off, that whole bit runs off. And then all of a sudden, you've got a meter of skin with no sausage in it. When you're on a roll tying sausages and stuff, it's a bitch. You don't want to, cut it and then tie knots on each end, and then you've now wasted a meter as well. Like, these skins aren't cheap. Like, these guys cost us probably $10 a pop, I think, something like that. We go for a couple grand a week. And I think, they might be $8. I don't know. They're expensive anyway, you know what I mean? They add pretty much $1 a kilo onto your sausage just by using these things. So, we're feeding it on our nozzle, thick nozzle, obviously. I don't know, we do all of our flavors in a thick sausage, and then we just do our skinny beef, the traditional one in the, what do you call it? The collagen casing. So your Devros and all those brands. We use some Italian one, but God help me, I don't know what the name is. Anyway, this should be nearly on now. If it goes on much longer, I will just skip past the video. What do you do? One of those things. And then we're going to get to tying the sausage. So we're just going to do our twist tie method. This isn't getting hung up for cabana or chorizo or smoked for anything or anything like that. It's just going to be sold fresh in the window, Australian butcher shop style. So just running out this little bit at the start, just to make sure. We always like to clean the pipe out. We don't know, I don't know. You always check everything, but you can never trust everything. You know what I mean? Sometimes wash-up kids suck, and you've been running around, so you didn't check in it when you put it on or whatever else. So it's just always good practice just to clean the freaking pipe out, and just have a look. Have a look what you got. Have a look what you're playing with. So check twice, I don't know. That's how I do it. So it's coming out nice and easy. They're a bit, the skimmer's a bit sticky. I could have run water through it twice or soaked it longer than a day, but yeah, whatever. You win some, you lose some. So with this part, you just got to watch your grip. So my left hand there was having a bit of drama, like keeping a slide going with the sausages. And normally if you do that, you'd probably try to grip with your right hand, and that's just going to throw you off. You grip with your right hand, and all of a sudden you've got a bit that's filled out too much, and then you're going to let go, and then you're going to have some that's not filled at all. So you just got to maintain a consistent grip with that right hand and just let the left hand do its thing. So some people like to hold them up, some people don't hold it at all. I think just holding it a little bit just creates less pressure in the sausage, so you don't have, as much as a packed in texture. You got that sort of free flowing texture and no air bubbles and stuff, you know what I mean? And I think that's just fucking important. So, twist tying. As you can see, I wasn't going too fast. I wasn't going too slow either. I wasn't very mindful of the video. But we twist, and then we go through. Once we fix this sausage, we go through the hole, and we pinch it on top. Then we go up and over itself, and up and twist. Then back through the hole, back on top. It's really just 2 sets of motions. And rinse and repeat. That's a good looking banger, hey? Anyway, and that's as simple as it gets. So twist, through, over the top, up, twist, through, over the top, and up. And that's basically it. It's one of those things. It looks complicated. You can go really fast. And then, I don't know, it's like learning to tie your shoes. You're going to get it, and you're going to get it really quickly. So it'll take you, about 10, 20 kilos of sausages to get it right. And then you'll get the speed as you go. There's no stress, especially with the hobby people. It's a fun hobby. Take your time, chill out, be creative with your flavors. You can make anything with sausages, anything you find. When I started doing all the crazy flavors, I had a hashtag, I love playing with my sausage. You could search that on Facebook. It'll still be there. And this is 2018, 2019. I was doing whatever crazy flavors I could come up with, 8 different types a week. I used to just walk down the chocolate aisle in the local Coles, Woolies, or RGA and just see what marvelous creations have come up with and whatever else, and what chips Kettle has this week, and I could grab some flavors off that. It was fucking easy. So I don't know, it's one of those things. As long as you got your fat to meat ratio right and you got your meal right, then you can add whatever the hell you want and make whatever the hell you want and just go nuts with it. Why not? Fuck it. All right, hanging these up. I hang them in lots of four, which means 4 up, 4 down. And you're hanging them off the thing every 8 sausage, and that creates even. You don't want any sausages hanging sideways. They accumulate the water instead of dripping it off, and you don't want to accumulate the water. You want it to drip free. That's the video, guys. That is a French onion soup sausage, and you have a great day. See ya.